may never do 75 hard again, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm currently in week 8 of 75 hard right now. I've got energy, I've got motivation, I've been consistent, I'm seeing progress, and yet we're here. Even though I've seen the progress and I've seen the consistency and how it has benefited me, it has me thinking about a few things. I feel like we need to really, to understand the whole thing, we really need to start with the positives of it, okay? And honestly, the reason that I may never do this again is probably not what you think. Let's start with my 75 hard rules. I did tailor this a little bit to make sure it fit with me because I did not want to go for a 45-minute walk in the freezing cold, so I changed that. So my goal was to do 45 minutes of cardio and do a weightlifting session every day, which I have been doing. I've been killing 75 hard, guys, so pat on the back to me. The next rule was keeping my calories between 1,800 to 2,000 a day and shooting for 140 grams of protein to 160 grams of protein. If I went over 160 grams, then great, more muscle for me, right? Drinking 1 gallon of water a day, reading my scriptures for at least 5 minutes every day, posting 1 YouTube short per day, and tracking using daily progress pictures. I mainly changed it because not one shoe fits all. I wanted my goals and what I was actually striving for to work with what I want to be and who I want to be and how I want to progress in life. Everything was pretty new other than lifting. I have to hit the gym. If I don't, I'm not really okay, and it gets pretty dark up here sometimes. So that's fun. Overall, I would say there's 5 main takeaways from this whole challenge that I have learned so far. And honestly, I don't really see them changing much till the end of this whole challenge. So I'm just going to share them with you now. First one is consistently macro tracking. This I give majority of my physical changes to because I'm in about a 300 to 500 calorie deficit every day. So I know I'm losing weight. By hitting my protein goals, I've minimized my muscle loss in this deficit. And comparing my progress photos, I definitely see some massive gnarly changes. And that brings me to the second one, which is progress photos. About a week ago, I was feeling pretty down because I hadn't seen, at least to me, I hadn't seen any big changes, and that's really disheartening when you're trying super hard and you're pushing yourself to new limits. But a few days ago, I compared my first photo of this whole challenge to a photo of me a couple days ago, and the changes are there. They are there. I just have seen my body this whole time, every single day consistently. And that's made me think that I'm not progressing, but I have been progressing. And I know that if I ever do another challenge, like a fitness challenge or a weight loss challenge, I know I'm definitely going to do pictures every day because it does. It puts that in your brain. Seeing that makes it so much easier to keep going. Small habits daily will show massive waves of improvement tomorrow. Chelsea Ann. Yes, I just made that up, just barely. Number 3 is consistent scripture reading. This is one that I forgot in the past all the time just because it wasn't something that I normally would think about throughout the day. I read scriptures at the end of every day, and honestly, having God in my life has given me so much more strength. It's taught me a lot more. And if I'm being honest, I say prayers multiple times a day. So if I find myself having a hard time or I'm struggling or I'm having these negative thoughts about myself, then I'll honestly just pray. Turning to God has been the biggest change in my life. Number 4 is posting a YouTube short every single day. This one's been the hardest one for me, for sure. I struggled with consistency on YouTube until I had to give it time by adding it to this challenge. Now, it's all I want to work on in my spare time away from my 9 to 5. When I don't have Elijah with me, it's my pastime. That's what I do, and that's what I enjoy. I've seen major growth in my content and in my YouTube channel, and honestly, me personally, just by posting every single day on YouTube, it gives me that satisfied, fulfilled feeling once now that I've been consistent with it. I've been uploading weekly videos and I'm honestly having a ton of fun, and I'm going to make it a priority. Number 5, and the final benefit that I have received from this whole 75 hard experience, is a solid foundation to start with. And when I mean a solid foundation, I mean my body is physically ready to grow more muscle. I've lost more fat. Now I feel more comfortable going into a bulk because I've lost a lot of unnecessary fat that's just been chilling there that doesn't need to be there. And so I'm super excited to be able to continue My whole goal is to eventually be a wellness bodybuilder competitor. That's not the right way to say it. My overall goal is to compete in a wellness bodybuilding competition, and I have a long ways to go. However, I have seen so much progress that now that I've got the foundation, I genuinely know that if I keep striving, if I keep hitting my goals, I keep hitting PRs, eating my protein and losing fat, like I'm going to get there and I'm going to do great. Like I know I'm going to do great because I am stubborn. All right, I'm stubborn. And that brings us to the conclusion of the video, why I will not do it again. If I've had all this positive stuff happen, why am I saying I may never do it again? I genuinely believe that 75 Hard has completed its purpose for me. I don't think there's really anything else that I need to learn from this challenge. The whole challenge is technically a mental toughness challenge. And I can confidently say I am a lot stronger and tougher than I ever thought I was. And maybe that's why Andy created it, to push people past their limiting beliefs of themselves, to break the imaginary barriers we give ourselves. I've always heard about this thing called the upper limit. At some point with the upper limit, you have to push past it or you're never going to continue growing. And being stagnant and being content is one of the most poisonous and dangerous things you could do for yourself, because we're here to grow, we're here to learn, we're here to become the best versions of ourselves. So if we're putting a cap on what we're doing with that, we will never reach our highest potential. We all want immediate gratification. And this challenge teaches the complete opposite of that, which is delayed gratification. And that's what sets apart the millionaires, the billionaires, the successful people in life, the people who you see living their dreams, doing these amazing things. That's what sets them apart, is they're able to wait for great things. So overall, this challenge has been very eye-opening for me, and honestly, I think it was a necessary thing for me to do. I'm so proud of myself. If you are thinking about starting 75 Hard, I would say go for it. I think everybody should do 75 Hard at least once if they can physically, because it teaches you so much more about yourself mentally. If you guys like this video, definitely go ahead, leave a comment down below letting me know if you've ever tried 75 Hard or if you would try 75 Hard. I personally recommend it because it changes you mentally and physically, obviously. But it's something that everybody should at least try once. And if you're curious about any of my other 75 Hard content, I will put a link somewhere to the playlist of 75 Hard. It starts from week 1 and we're going all the way to the very end. And we're almost there, guys. We're getting there. So definitely check that out. But I will see you guys in the next one.